Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I do not know where you're located on this planet, but you are live from Bucharest, Romania. We're in Europe, baby. Guess what? It's the last day of the final Europe Cup qualifying tournament. Yes, we keep the best for last. That's always the way we do it. The weather is sweet, it's nice, it's a little bit windy, but just enough for you to have that nice little breeze to cool you off in this warm Romanian weather. Angelo Tsagorakis, your host. You can find me on all social media platforms easily. If you prefer Instagram at in lower dash czar, TSAR lower dash gram. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will respond to your question and we can have some fun with it. Let's remind you guys the rules of Break 3.
Yo, what's good? My name is Kyle Montgomery, aka the voice of 3x3. And if for some reason you still don't know the rules of 3x3, it is time to tap in. Class is officially in session. So on our half court, you've got two teams of 3 players with one additional substitute on the bench. Yo, what's up, sub? Can I check in? In 3x3, even the ball is different. This is the official Wilson right here. Trust me, it's groovy, baby. This game is pedal to the metal. 10-minute game clocks, just 12-second shot clocks, and a first to 21 scoring format for the win. If a team doesn't score 21 points, all they have to do is outscore their opponent within 10 minutes. And you know we keep it street. In this game, we score by 1s and 2s. Anything inside the arc is worth 1. Anything outside of the arc is worth 2. Still got it. And this game is all gas, no brakes. Literally, after the opening check ball, play is continuous. Make or miss, offense turns to defense, just like that. This 10-minute sprint is just getting started. We'll see you at the top.
So now you know, if you didn't know, which 2 teams in both the men's and women's bracket out here in Romania will make it to the big dance. We got a 12 teams field awaiting us in Antwerp, Belgium in September. So far in the men's side, we have Serbia, Netherlands, Lithuania, France, Germany, Latvia, Belgium, Switzerland, Italy, and Ireland. We need 2 more. We need 2 more. In the women's side, we have Netherlands, Spain, France, Germany, Czechia, Poland, Hungary, Azerbaijan, Slovenia, and Belgium. And there, we need 2 more as well. Shall it be Latvia? Shall it be someone else? We are going to find out. Let me give you the full breakdown of what went down on day 1 of qualifying action. We have Pool B right now with Austria, Latvia, Greece, and Great Britain. We're going to have the day started off with 2 Pool B games. It's going to be Latvia against Great Britain. That's a big matchup for you guys, but I'm going to break it down to you in just a moment. And we have, following up, Austria against Greece. Very important games for everybody. It's a 4 teams pool. Pool A, made up of Ukraine, Sweden, Denmark, Romania, and Lithuania. Shall give you a different type of outlook because you have 1 extra game for each teams to try to get one of those 2 top spots. The 2 top teams in each pool make it to the semifinals. You obviously have to win your semifinal to make it to the Europe Cup. The top 2 teams of this event will join the big dance. I think I've been pretty complete. I think that you have now the full informational package to feel pretty comfortable about what's going on. In the men's side, the finality shall be the same, but the format is a bit different. And we'll talk about the man when it's time to talk about the man. Pool B, Austria and Latvia so far won their first game yesterday against respectively Great Britain and Greece. So there is a lot at stake for Latvia, which could very likely already punch its ticket to the semifinal with a win right now against Great Britain. In case of a loss, you reshuffle all the cards. That would make it a very interesting game with the upcoming Austria-Greece, which could as well make it a full-out tied group. So we're going with the inside right away. That's a nice one. The first bucket with a Cheridine green in the paint. Back-to-back buckets in the paint. That is a good idea when you're trying to get the game going. Great Britain starting off aggressive. Ooh, beautiful feed inside, but you cannot spoil dessert that way. That is a bad miss. She probably rushed it, thought that she had less time, or probably had a potential block shot, but no. She had the time, and you cannot fall asleep when you play against Latvia. Vihmane is not to be messed with. Britain starts off the game exactly the way they were hoping for. In the first game against Greece, Marta Leimane for Latvia hit two two-pointers. She ended up being the leading scorer in a very low-scoring game. Latvia beat Greece 13-10. We've obviously seen better. But the most important is to win your first game. You can go and start calculating in case of a potential loss. The loss has not come yet for Latvia, even though Great Britain right now is a very competitive and strong opponent. Great Britain and Latvia have given us some classics in the past few years. They've met up in the Europe Cup Qualifier before. Always a tough battle. Blown layup, that is costly. All these details will add up in the end. One person on the ground. There is a technical foul for flopping. You have to hold your ground much stronger. You cannot drop down to the court like a fly. Marta Leimane gives up a free throw on the technical foul shot. Driving kick. Wide open look. That's a really good start of the game for Sheridan Green. Gotta like the feed from Georgie Gale. Latvia is not the team that you can ever count out. Even if you lead early, they can make up the gap pretty fast. That's gonna be an offensive foul. Great anticipation defensively. Gila Joseph did a great job just cutting that driving lane, and Behimane overextended that right arm. It's a little bit of an ambitious pass right here. The defense covered it pretty well. Would have been a better deal. To give it up to Green at the elbow. Baseline, good coverage. Defensively, Great Britain started off the game pretty focused. That's a good shot, knowing that you had to stay aware of the 12-second shot clock. The nice lob pass inside, Mishchenko finishing up the job, but Gale with a sweet little one-legged pull-up mid-range. We're gonna have the first TV timeout, and Great Britain well aware of what's at stake.
Primul TV time-out al acestei partide vine la scor de 5-4 pentru Marea Britanie. Partida este în competiția feminină, prima partidă
Reason this game is so important for Great Britain right now is that they've lost against Austria, and in a 4-teams pool, imagining that losing against Latvia right now could potentially end up with a perfect 3-0 record at the end of the pool phase today for Latvia. And Great Britain wins its next game against Greece, for example. They would be tied eventually, if this would be the scenario, with Austria, but they would not have the head-to-head matchup favorable, and they would end up third in the group. So they would not be out mathematically with a loss against Latvia, but things would look a little bit complicated, to say the least. So there's a reason why. Ooh, double cross. Viamane. That was filthy. She plays at her own pace, takes her time. Viamane was last year's women's revelation in 3x3. Particularly on the European side. She's racked up some MVP accolades. And Strautmane cleans up her own mess and gives the lead back to Latvia. Mishchenko will post up right away. She is a problem to deal with in the paint. She's strong, she's tall.
6-5 is the score for Latvia in first.
She has a mean streak to her. Sweet woman on the outside, but when you got her on that Elio court, let me tell you, she'll come after you.
We have 2 spots available in the women's competition and also 2 spots available in men's competition for FIBA 3x3 Europe Cup Qualifier this year in September in Antwerp.
Great lob pass. Oh my goodness. Do not do that, because Viamane will come right back, and you're lucky, Great Britain, that Viamane did not get this bucket to go. That would have been a 3 points differential. Strautmane, great footwork going with the up and under the ball. Teasing all of us, bouncing around for 5, 6 times. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. And now Latvia is up 2. Followed up with a great defensive stop to earn the possession back, and Great Britain cannot afford to miss those little shots in the paint. Good drive inside, Vermane. Could not quite get the angle on the glass. Pick and pop action, Strautmane. On target, but a little bit short. And that's a big bucket. Let me tell you, Joseph ties things up to 7 apiece. There's a foul, 13 foul against Great Britain. Once again, we do not have a very high scoring game. We've had a few of those in the women's bracket since yesterday. We did have a few of those as well on the men's side. So I don't know what's in the air in Romania, but just get some 21 points games going today. I just placed the order. I hope that they're gonna get it for our pleasure. Driving all the way to the cup. Too fast for the highlights. Vermane, and right after, Great Britain turns it over. We're not at the second TV timeout point yet. And we have a whole lot of 3x3 left in this game, obviously. Oh, beautiful action. Completely lost in translation right here defensively. Beckford Norton makes up for it, going right back at Vermane, saying, you might be fast. You might be fast, Katia. But I'm fast too. I'm gonna come right back at you. And there is a sense that this game is gonna go down to the wire. It's a very balanced matchup.
Less than 4 minutes on the clock.
Strautmane,
Latvia is
good
still
fake.
in front up by 1 against Great
Shot was
Britain.
wide open.
3:49 to go.
She put a
Now
little too
Great
much
Britain
on it.
back in the possession. Gale on the right side. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Gale with a miss. And now Latvia back in the
Got to put the
possession.
finishing touches.
Again,
On
Latvia
those
from
attempts,
2.
Strautmane
Not this time. The
tries to
shot
go for the
hit
quick
rim,
hitter.
and there's no basket there for Latvia.
Latvia would love to be able to pull away from Great
Inside
Britain.
for
Good
Johnson,
recovery,
blocked there
Vermane.
by Latvia, and now Vermane outside.
Nice, the jab, attacking opposite. Beautiful. Nothing Georgia Gale could do on that one. She anticipated the two-lady action at the 45. Sure enough, you see me, you don't see me in Omo. Strautmane goes for the kill shot. Up 4, Latvia with the first real break in this game. And Great Britain will need to come up with some pretty fast and some good. 12-second shot clock violation. Latvia in control. Mane, great love pass, great execution of the two-lady action right here with a lot of patience. And it's a tough matchup because post players are not used to what was that attempt off 1 foot. Trying to look like Marine Johannes out here. A lot of contact, but that's the right call, even though it came up a little late. Mischenko trying to say, she pushed off me.
Another team
You held on to her too long to start with. So one free throw coming up for Sheridan Green.
For one extra shot. And the shot is good, and Great Britain puts another
Free throw is
point on the
good.
board.
There's more than enough time.
13 and 9 is the score, and Great Britain gets
to come back in this game.
foul.
But the
last
16th
one,
foul
the
against
one
Great
we have to
Britain
give in this
brings
game.
about the bonus for Latvia. And once again, they've been killing Great Britain with this simple action off the right elbow. And when I say right elbow, it's for them. It's left elbow for us, but it's right elbow for them. I mean, see what I'm trying to say.
Gets the rebound. Now Joseph.
So Latvia simply showing that the experience they've accumulated over the past 2 to 3 years playing in the women's series. And that's a big hit from Shaquilla Joseph to keep things interesting. Vyahmane, the response. No, Mischenko saves it, but there's 2 seconds left. You got to stay aware, stop Mane before the expiration of the 12 seconds. Can't get it to go. That's an open look. You got to take it. Would have been better. You would have made it. So a minute 19. Timeout requested. 3x3. 3 points lead. And over a minute to go. Like an eternity. It's more than possible to make up that gap. You got to come up with stops. You got to find some rhythm in offense. You got to find some success. Somebody has got to do something. Technical foul, second warning for delay of game. You have to give your opponent the ball properly on the check. Mane bumps the lead up to 4. We're right back at the top. And they keep up with the good work. Latvia making good reads off the aggressive defense from Great Britain when they're trying to cut out that handoff action at the elbow. Laimane and Vyahmane make great backdoor cuts, which provided the Latvian with potentially 3 points if she makes that free throw. She does. So 3 points earned on these exact same plays. Got to get out the paint. Was about to tell you. A reminder for all the players that are watching us. If you have a matchup that is considered favorable, or if you have preferential position and your teammate does not see you, always stay aware of the 3 seconds call. If you got to get out, you got to get out. Missed opportunities happen all the time. But turning the ball over is not going to work out, and that's a non-sportsmanlike foul. She was completely beat on that play. Georgia Gale attacked that baseline, and Leimane, as we'll see right here, did not play for the ball. Obviously, it's a bad foul. 2 free throws could turn things around a little bit. And Georgia, yeah, my voice is not gonna go there. But Georgia has an opportunity to put some pressure back on Latvia. 2 for 2 is a good idea. It's a 3-point game, Vihmane. You see, Mischenko went in and went back out. Great box out, and that's gonna be a foul against Mischenko. No, it's gonna be a box out foul against Joseph. That is a big, big turn. Marta Mischenko at the free throw line.
Mischenko with 2
Bumped
from
the lead
2
up.
from free throws, and now Latvia has 18 points. Meanwhile, Great Britain
5.
with 13. Gale inside for Green, another point for Great Britain.
18-14.
Leimane for
It's going to
Latvia.
be a little too late,
On the
even
left
though Great
side,
Britain
4
needs to
seconds on
add
the
up
shot clock.
to
Leimane
its
from outside, air ball.
scoring account. You never know what can go down. You don't know what's going to happen between Austria and Greece.
Seconds to go. Latvia with another shot missed.
18-14.
Latvia
So a
gets
lot
the
of
first
things can
victory of
happen.
the day in the women's competition against Great Britain. The final score 18-14
In this group,
women's
Latvia
competition.
takes
And
full
we
control
are looking
of
forward
its
for the next
destiny,
game, still
favored
in
now
women's
to
competition.
finish top
At
seed,
this time we have Austria
particularly
against Greece.
if Greece beats Austria in this very next game. So we're gonna take just a few moments to watch some highlights and let the announcement for game number 2 of the day happen. And I'll be right back with you guys to tell you all about the next matchup and the situation in Pool B in the women's bracket.
Up next, again in women's competition, Austria against Greece, and we'll start the team presentation with Team Austria, winning number 13, Simone Sil. With number 10, Alexia Alesh. Winning number 8, Anya Fuchs Robetin. And with number 42, Sigrid Kaiser. Ladies and gentlemen, get a round of applause for team representing Austria. And now for Team Greece, wearing number 19, Christina Anastasopoulou. Wearing number 1, Eleni Sira. With number 2, Ekaterini Tsineke. And wearing number 5, Nefeli Stupa. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for team representing Greece. Coin toss in few moments, and the referees for this game, Matei Peic and Ioana Kojocaro.
Here we go, game number 2 on day 2, and it's gonna be Pool B action with Elada, Greece, going against Austria. Austria top of the group right now with Latvia. Austria would love to punch its ticket to the semifinals with a win right now. If Greece upsets Austria, then now we're gonna have a very interesting situation. Great Britain would still have all of its chances alive to make it to the semis. So will Greece, and the pressure would be on the Austrians' shoulders. So let's see. Misunderstanding between Anastasopoulou and Stupa. Anastasopoulou came for the screen. Stupa wanted to feed her the ball again to go screen away potentially, or fake screen and flash. It's a chemistry thing. They got to find it, but good defense to make up for this turnover, and Greece will have the ball at the top. So there you have it. A lot at stake in this game. If Austria wins, both Latvia and Austria are going to be officially qualified to the semifinals. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful backdoor pass. Sira did not have the right angle, going with the right hand on the left-hand side. You have to be courageous enough to try to attempt that shot with the left hand once you catch it over there, because the angle becomes quite complicated on the glass. Greece plays very aggressive defense. Look at this, pushing Austria way past the 3x3 logo. I like the aggressiveness defensively from the Greek squad. Austria will have to stay disciplined. Sira will kick it back out. Tsineke with the turnover. So Greece is as aggressive defensively as it is imprecise offensively. A lot of turnovers. Sira on target, but a bit short. Foul on the box out. Stupa's hustle paid off, and Greece checks the ball again at the top. Stupa long on the face up. What a recovery. Mismatch action. Sira cannot hit the ball from behind. And Austria gets on the scoreboard for the first time in this game. Mid-range special, just the way you like it. One apiece. Lob City got to get out the paint. Still did. Alish did not finish. Anastasopoulou wide open, and that's a bad miss right here. That is unfortunate for Greece. Austria commits its second team foul. Greece is back at the top. Pick and pop action. Nice collaboration. Absolutely beautiful. When the ball gets on the move fast, the defense has a hard time to set up, to communicate. Good hands, even though it might be a little bit of a wraparound foul. Austria will have the favorable matchup in the paint with Alish, with Simon Seal. Just when we mention it, they're going right to the inside. Greece will have the advantage with speed. Nice spin move. Anastasopoulou off the mark a little bit. So if Austria stays disciplined, Greece will have a lot of trouble matching up down low. So it's a clash of styles. Sineke, long range. Austria commits its third team foul. So Austria needs to slow the game down, collaborate, and find the mismatches in the paint. Greece needs to speed things up and keep drawing fouls. Good two-lady action, and the head fake got her jumping to the moon. And Greece take the lead. Not for long. Bucharest, fast break, beautiful collaboration, three-lady action. That's the way you get it done. Sharing is caring, and Austria cares a lot right now, taking the lead back from Greece. And that's the experience right there. That's the court awareness. The ball recovered off the turnover. Quick pass in, the help side, identified quickly, extra pass for the quick lay. One thing that Greece has going for itself at this moment is the foul trouble looming, approaching against Austria, having committed already 4 fouls. Greece playing very aggressively, managed to stay away from committing many fouls early in the game. But obviously, it's going to be a challenge for both teams to keep the opponent away from its main strength. Stupa. Quick hit, bit short. And Sira with her bread and butter, little mid-range. Anastasopoulou, close but no cigar. Alish tripped on Anastasopoulou's leg. That's gonna be an offensive foul, I believe, against Nefeli Stupa. This game of 3x3 is a game of inches. You'll see right here. Yep, she moves a little bit. If she stays put, the foul shall be defensive. But the fact that she wanted to give that little extra, good recovery from Stupa. Alish is a tough cookie, though. Let me tell you, she can battle with the best of them. Stupa gets blocked. Bucharest did not buy any of it, and that is unlucky for Greece with Anastasopoulou finally getting something to go, but it's after the buzzer. So 12-second shot clock violation, and Austria up by 2. with a chance to build the gap even more. Nice kick out pass. Alish off target. With Robertin with the rebound, and wow. That was an aggressive foul right here. It's not going to be deemed unsportsmanlike. We're going to see that again. The wraparound was up high, over the shoulders. No consequences for Sigrid Koizar knocking down the free throw, and it's a 3-point lead now. The backdoor cut was the right idea from Tsineke, but Stupa needed to create more space. Mismatch City down low. Alish sticking with it twice, going for a third. Fourth offensive rebound, and Koizar draws the 16th foul against Greece. Things are starting to look complicated for Greece. Foul trouble now official. Austria already up 3. Koizar identifies the gap. Smart play, 4-point lead. Great pass by Stupa. Sira playing like a contortionist right now. Managed to find the angle, but this is just great two-lady action. A little bit of we see the coaching staff for Greece frustrated. There's a little bit of a loss of focus right now. Greek ladies are flustered a little bit, and that's the matchup that they want to look for. Tsineke cannot do anything about that. Push Robertin is just too strong and too skilled down low. Anastasopoulou spins around. The ball did not connect with the rim. And Austria shows its experience at this moment. They've made it to the Europe Cup before. They want to get back to it. Bad passing angle. Good defense by Anastasopoulou. Sira almost forgot her luggage on that trip to the basket. Everything is complicated. Anastasopoulou had the advantage, but she could not put the finishing touches on that left-hand layup. And Austria with Koizar. The ball did not touch the rim. Alish at the right place at the right time, but a little too late. We're going to have the second TV timeout, and Greece is scrambling to find solutions, and you have to give all the credit to the Austrian defense. Playing tough, playing strong, playing under control offensively to follow suit with the aggressive defense. There is obviously more than enough time for Greece to come back in this game, but they're going to have to try to come up with some outside shooting magic, because Austria is locking up defensively. Stupa probably heard me in the Bluetooth. Knocks down the first two for Greece. Back to a 3-point game. There's going to be a late call, but it's the right call. A lot of contact. Tsineke beat on the play. Commits the foul. And I almost want to say contesting the shot is obviously something that is necessary, but you cannot do it at the price of committing the 7th, 8th, 9th, and obviously 10th and over fouls, as it gives free throws, and Alish is too good of a free throw shooter to miss out on that opportunity. 5-point lead. Sira misses the lay. Austria in total control now. And it's not the first time that Greece is getting beat opposite of the screen. So you have to figure out what you're trying to do. If you're trying to switch, you better make sure that you're sending whoever has the ball to the screen. If you're trying to fight over, Same deal. Send the opponent to the screen. Because if you're just opening yourself up, good players will make the read and make you pay. Good defense. Tsineke recovers the ball. And Tsineke tried to feed Anastasopoulou on the flash. Probably would have had a better opportunity with Stupa at the opposite 45, but it's easier said than done. And obviously, Austria just goes right where it hurts. Flash right through the middle of the paint. Alish punishes the size advantage or disadvantage, in this case for Greece. Seven-point lead. Austria could settle which two teams out of Pool B shall make it to the semifinals, in which order. They're going to figure out the seeding among themselves later on today. But if Greece cannot come up with a huge comeback, then Great Britain and Greece will play later on today for bragging rights. And nothing else. Mismatch City down low. Seal misses, luckily for Greece. Good move, Anastasopoulou. Always full of good ideas in this game, but you got to finish what you start at the highest level. That's the only way it goes. 8-point lead now. Stupa draws the foul. Strong move to the basket. She got blocked on her previous fadeaway attempt, so she did not commit to attempting the same move. She misses the free throw, and things are starting to look impossible for Greece. Austria simply better. Tsineke, double cross, great feed, and there's a foul, which is going to be a shooting foul. And Fucho Betin already had her arm lifted up, saying like, yes, I'm fouling, you can call it. But the referee did not want to prevent Greece from utilizing the advantage. The thought process in the game of 3x3, most of the times, it's not automatic, and each referee has a different sensitivity to certain things, but a lot of times you're going to see the referees allowing for players to play through contact. If an opportunity leading to a basket unfolds, they're not going to just stop the play on the first tacky foul or contact that happens. They're going to allow players to try to play through it. And obviously, if the context is such that they're missing the shot or turning the ball over, then they will revert back to calling the foul. And I like that. It makes sense to me, especially in this game of 3x3. Tsineke for two, way too long. And Anastasopoulou, once again, cannot convert on the drive. It probably was too late anyway.
14-7.
That is just too easy. Austria making it look simple, and in life and 3x3, simplicity is a luxury. If you're capable of executing the most basic fundamentals at the highest level and the greatest speed, it's usually enough for you to make the difference. Koizar, great separation. And that's not the first time that Greece gives the ball right back. Box out.
Lucky shot for Austria.
Disadvantage.
Now from two Greece.
Sira cannot keep Fuchs-Robetin out of the paint.
With 7 points in this game.
It's pretty logical.
16-7 now the score for Austria.
There probably was a foul on Stupa on that shot. The same way there probably was a foul on Alish on the previous shot attempt just before. And once again, flashing right through the middle of the paint. 10-point lead. Austria will be in the semifinals, along with Latvia. And Sil has dominated the paint along with Alish. He's just too tall, too strong. Sineke and Sira cannot match up with her at all. Fadeaway special.
Greece with another point by Stupa.
Well executed this time. Stupa had the size advantage against Koizar. And the road to the Europe Cup stops here for Greece. Greek ladies and Great Britain will have a game for bragging rights and the opportunity to keep working on the next steps for their respective programs. But Austria simply executes and finds more efficiency with whatever their game plan is, much more than Greece ever did in this matchup. So we're gonna go now to, if I'm not mistaken, the men's bracket, or do we have another women's game? We do have another women's game. We have another pair of women's game, as a matter of fact. It's gonna be Ukraine against Sweden, coming right after those highlights.
Greece with another point by Stupa. 3 seconds. Up next, other game in women's competition, Ukraine against Sweden, and they will start the team presentation with team representing Ukraine. Winning number 3, Kristina Filevic. Winning number 2, Veronika Kosmach. With number 5, Miriam Uronilie. And wearing number 1, Angelica Liashko. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for team Ukraine. And now for Sweden, wearing number 22, Emma Johansson. With number 14, Tova Sabel. With number 11, Anna Hager. And wearing number 7, Amanda Divenius. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for team representing Sweden. Few moments until we start the coin toss also. The referees for this game, Maxence Carazedo and Mila Chavara.
Ukraine and Sweden with the first bucket right away for Sweden. Sweden, the chef's surprise so far in this competition. No one expected Sweden to clean up the plate in both men's and women's bracket, and they did on day one. Now it's another 3x3 giant that gets in the way of Sweden. Beautiful connection between Yashko and Uronilje. And Ukraine takes the lead back from Sweden, but not for long. Hager knocks down the 2, and Sweden with much more offensive punch than in yesterday's first game against Lithuania, for example. As Sweden won against the Lithuanian ladies 11-9 in overtime. Yashko on the free throw. Did not expect to see the ball bounce right back in her hands. Sweden, as mentioned, has finished top of the group, second after the first 2 games, as the aggregate scoring was just a little under Ukraine's offensive output. Ukraine having cleaned up the plate as well after the first 2 games. So it's a battle of leaders in Pool A. Whoever wins this takes a strong option, not only in finishing first, meaning the top seed out of Pool A, but also punching its ticket to the semifinal and being 1 game away from the Europe Cup. Straight mismatch action down low, nothing that Kosmach can do about the length of Johansson. If you have to think of a key component to Sweden's success, don't look any further than number 14, Tova Sabel. ISO work. Sabel, heard me mention her name. She had an opportunity to give the ball up on the right to Tivnius, but she is the go-to girl for Team Sweden. She draws the foul here, misses badly the free throw. And Ukraine gets back on the offensive. Be an offensive foul, Kosmach. Overextending the right arm. And tough shot. Matter of fact, I'm wondering about the pronunciation in Swedish. Do you say Tova Sabel? Or do you say, well, obviously I'm giving you the international pronunciation, Yashko. Gets the easy one to go. Gives Ukraine a 5-4 lead. Not long-lived. Johansson making it look easy with the lefty. So 5 apiece. We got a very nice game on our hands. Yashko goes for the mid-range. Johansson is just too tall. Tivnius not insisting to fight for position in the paint. There's a lot of contact in the back. So shoot me up a message. Do I say Tova Sabel? Or do I say, or do I keep it international and say Tova Sable? I'm gonna say consistent and say Tova Sable, but I have some inspiration that is probably pronounced Sabel. So at the first TV timeout, 5 apiece, 1 free throw coming up for Tova. This time around, she knocks down the free throw. And what about the 2 from Filovic? Kristina Filovic has played this game of 3x3 for a long time. Right now, she's a difference maker. 3 straight points. Ukraine picking it up defensively and translating good defense into efficient offense. Forcing 12 seconds violation. Nice. Absolutely beautiful execution. Using Euronelie as a relay. Ukraine taking a strong option. Great defense by Lyashko. And another 12 seconds shot clock violation in a row. Ukraine pressing the gas pedal. Another one from the top. Euronelie almost had her hands on it. Ball did not touch the rim, and Sweden will recover the possession. Good job, the pass. Tova Sable to a cutting Ahmed Tivnius. There's a foul. Sable pulling Filovic out of position. Pass was a little too forward, a little bit. Euronelie made the right cut. But guards always need to stay aware of the fight. The post players will have trying to get to the spot, trying to drop down to the basket. Yashko, sweetness. Oh no, that is forbidden. Miriam Euronelie, lucky break for Sweden. She'll make up for it. But she's just too strong, too good in the paint. Ukraine executing very well. Showing a lot of chemistry offensively and a lot of intensity defensively. 14th foul against Sweden. We're getting closer to the second TV timeout. And Ukraine, very solid. Very, very solid at this moment. Good defense by Ornelie. Johansson tries to collaborate with Hager. Another 12-second shot clock violation. Ukraine putting everybody on lockdown right now. Sable, Hager, Johansson, Tivnius. No one can figure out how to create an opening. Very good job by the Ukrainian ladies. Kosmach. Great drive to the cup. 4-point lead, Ukraine. Foul by Lyashko. We're going to have the second TV timeout, but Ukraine simply dominant right now. And the score does not show that big of a gap. Obviously, it's only a 4-point lead, but you can definitely tell that Ukraine is on another level in comparison to Sweden in this matchup so far. So let's see if the second TV timeout was helpful for Sweden. That was a good shot, just a bit long. Yashko at the top, friendly bounce, but she's a shooter. Up 6, Sweden in trouble. And that's gonna be a moving screen. The ball pressure from Filovic, earning the possession back for Ukraine. Ronelier draws the 16th foul. Yashko, patient, disciplined, fighting her post player down low to a size advantage and strength advantage as well. Ball illegally kicked. The contest from Hager. New 12-second shot clock possession for Ukraine. That's a tough pass. That's the first time that Sweden managed to find Tivnius with preferential position in the paint. And he did not convert into a basket. Ronelier will not get the whistle, but had the position once again going in her favor. That's a good feed. Johnson finishes close to the cup. Still a 5-point lead for Ukraine. Kosmach gets it off in time. And one of the rare defensive possessions where Sweden managed to prevent Ukraine from creating anything positive, anything constructive. Good defense by Romania. Clean contest. Kosmach. She's been really efficient driving to the basket. You can consider Veronika Kosmach as like the glue girl for Team Ukraine. She can shoot. She's definitely a very aggressive and competent defender. A willing passer. Romania going for the up and under special. Way too much protein in that attempt. That's going to be a foul. One free throw coming up for Anna Hager.
După această partidă, Naționala României la feminină intră în competiție astăzi pentru meciul împotriva Lituaniei, urmând ca următoarea partidă programată pentru România să fie în jurul orei 4 și 15 minute, data aceasta împotriva Ucrainei. Sunteți așteptați de asemenea pe marginea terenului pentru a susține naționala noastră. 1 minut și jumătate mai avem din partida dintre Ucraina și Suedia, cu 2 posesii diferență, 14-10 scorul în acest moment.
So the referees are going to check at the monitor, putting ice on Uronilia's neck and cranium. The cranium.
3.3 on the shot clock.
So what are we checking? All right, back at it. Everything solved 4-point lead, both teams in foul trouble. The game can still go either way. Uronilje did not get fed. Good conditions. And there's the size advantage in the paint. We got the foul going against Ляшко. Tivnius did a great job establishing position and keeping Ляшко in her back. Now Sweden can cut the lead to 2 potentially. Shooter's touch, the friendly roll. Tivnius, 1 for 2, but she almost had her hands on that offensive rebound. And now, look at Ukraine, pushed out all the way up. But he feels that stretched out. That opens up a roll for Uronilje. Good pass this time around.
2 points, not this time for Sweden. Again, Tivnius with the rebound.
Secures the defensive board, and we're under a minute now.
55 seconds to go.
Tivnius stays with it.
With the first one, no
Third
good.
time.
The second one also out. And,
Could it be a
let's see
charm?
again what
Let's see if
can,
Johansson
do
can
for
score.
Sweden.
Going with a little
Johansson
fade.
from
That's
mid-range,
beautiful.
point for
So,
Sweden. Now they have
15-12. Third time was a charm for Sweden. But you have to
And
stop the
Filipic
driving
for
lanes. You
Ukraine.
cannot give an easy
Ukraine
gap
is in front up
to
by
Kristina
4.
Filipic. She will punish you for it. And now it's a 4-point lead with just over 2 possessions left in this game. Ukraine could simply dribble it out. The clock management late in the stretch. Let me give you a candy right here. I don't know if you like candies, but let me give you a candy. If you're playing this game and you have an advantage that is over 3 points with a little bit over 2 possessions left in this game, you don't even have to attempt a shot. Even though in the ideal scenario, you hold on to the rock all the way to 10, 11 seconds left on the possession, then you attempt a shot that touches the rim some way, somehow, the clock never stops. So by the time your opponent gets that defensive board and clears the ball, you're way under the last shot clock situation. So you're not providing your opponent with enough opportunities to make up that 3 or 4 points gap. That's the way you play with the time. That's the way you use the shot clock to your advantage. So if you have 28 seconds left, just dribble it out all the way to the 10 seconds. It's going to be 18 left on the clock. Then you shoot it. The ball touches the rim. Clock never stops as the ball is in the air. Then they have to clear, which takes 2 to 3 seconds. See what I'm trying to say?
Now for Filipic from outside.
No need to rush when you are in control. Ukraine wins it. 3-0 record. Sweden still looking solid. Still looking competitive.
Final score for this day.
But Sweden will have
Next we have Romania
to fight it out.
against Lithuania, but after a short break.
With Denmark, particularly, as both Lithuania and Romania ended up day 1 winless. Denmark is the only immediate threat to a potential second seed in Pool A for Sweden. So we'll see. We'll find out together. The next game up, let me check that for you guys, is going to be Denmark against Lithuania. And that's going to let you know how much pressure is going to be on Sweden's shoulders. If Denmark beats Lithuania, then we're going to have a matchup for the ticket to the semifinals between Sweden and Denmark later on today. So let's watch some highlights and we'll be right back.
Sweden. Johansson from mid-range, point for Sweden now.
Everybody make some noise for Agovic! În câteva momente ne pregătim aici de meciul naționalei noastre, unde fetele intră și astăzi în competiție, dar aceasta împotriva Lituaniei. Up next we have Romania against Lithuania in women's competition. We will start the team presentation with Team Lithuania, wearing number 22, Egle Zabotkaite. With number 19, Livia Sakeviciute. And with number 77, Justina Miknaite. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the national team of Lithuania. Iar acum un aplauzele voastre pentru echipa noastră, pentru România! Cu numărul 9, Andreea Mititelu! Cu numărul 6, Bianca Fota! Cu numărul 21, Bianca Noghevoica! Și cu numărul 23, Alina Podar! Aplauze și gălăgie pentru România! For this game, the referees, Maxence Carazedo and Jure Lezar. We are ready for the next game, Romania against Lithuania here on Rotopen for FIBA 3x3 Europe Cup Qualifier.
We are back in the women's bracket, and it's going to be Lithuania going against Romania. So the deal is pretty simple. Both teams ended up winless on day one. Both teams had a low scoring output. Only 11 points per game for Romania and 10 points per game for Lithuania. Unfortunate turn of events for the home crowd's favorite here in Bucharest. Romania lost 16-15 in overtime against Denmark, and that literally cost them a lot, especially thinking that against Sweden, Romania could not do any better than scoring 7 points and losing the second game. So back against the wall in case of 2 wins today, knowing that Romania will play against Ukraine later on. Hopes are still alive mathematically, but losing right now would mean one thing and one thing only for Romania, as we see Mititelu scoring on a good feed, good court awareness. Fota, back-to-back buckets, 2-1 lead for Romania. So I was telling you that a loss right now would mean one thing and one thing only. The tournament would be over. Any chance of making it to the semifinals and keep hopes alive to qualify to the knockout, the final stage, the big dance, would be dead. Romania starts off this game with a lot of passion, and Lithuania, we got to talk about Lithuania, had the unfortunate turn of events of losing Solskjaer in their first game of the competition. Gabriele Solskjaer. Even though I'm not aware of the injury, I remember there was a bad fall, a strong hit, going for the ball under the basket, and she got up. She was hobbling around and she never came back. So since she's not played in yesterday's second game, and she's not here today on the chair as a replacement. Nice up and under. You got to finish what you start, though. She got her own offensive rebound, and maybe that was for a two-point shot. Maybe that was calculated. Probably not, but Naji Bianca Ioana gives Romania a 4-point lead. Romania starts off this game with a lot of passion and purpose. Podar, a bit short. So Lithuania having to play. Ooh. Is that going to be an unsportsmanlike? Because she's not playing for the ball right here. Referee lenient on this one, allowing Romania to get away with a very ambiguous foul. Let's put it like this, ambiguous. So the offensive foul going against Sakeviciute. Mititelu, bit off target. Evidently, counting out Lithuania being down one lady would be a mistake. Lithuania is more than capable of staying competitive and making this a game. Romania cannot afford to let their guard down and take their foot off the gas pedal. Fota all the way. Fota has been the bright spot offensively for Romania on day one. She simply wasn't bright enough to keep Romania away from a losing record. That's going to be a moving screen. Mititelu doing way too much. Got to hold your ground and stay put. So that was so evident. She literally just pushed her out of the way. Good flash. The pass needs to be softer, though. Zabotkaite identified the cut from Livia Sakeviciute, but Sakeviciute is flashing fast, having to turn around a little bit to reposition herself properly towards the basket, and Fota just keeps on giving. Romania in total control. Podar will play the mismatch. Great cut. Ball did not connect with the rim, and Podar took a little bit too long to trigger the play, to trigger the action. But at the first TV timeout, Romania has already scored as many points as they did against Sweden.
România conduce meciul disputat astăzi aici, primul al zilei pentru Naționala României în categoria feminin. Seria partida cu posesie pentru Lituania. Mic înainte, față-față cu Togi Voica. Totia caută culoarul de pătrundere spre inel. Bianca în ochi. Încearcă să recupereze acolo, însă Lituania este sancționată cu abatere de picior și posesia este a României.
Podar tries to go Euro step against Zapocaite, not working out. And Sakeviciute did a great job
United from outside, not this time for Lithuania. Mititelu gets the rebound for Romania. And now, Mititelu connection with Bianca Fota. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Fota from outside. No.
Fota. Very short. That's going to be an offensive foul. That's the second time that we've seen a Sakeviciute commit. The offensive foul, trying to muscle her way. And Mititelu, once again, overextended the arms. And Vlad on the sideline. Ooh. Big and strong hit to the chest right here. Get off me. Say it with your chest. McKnight all the way to the cup. Cuts the lead to 4. Podar can't come up with a clean shot attempt. And are we witnessing a momentum shift right now in favor of Lithuania? Let's see.
Lithuania from outside, the foul is for Lithuania from 2 shots. The free throws line now on Lithuania for 2 shots. Zabolkaite with the first one, good.
So free throws, Abotkaite, a bit long, the ball ends up in her hands. She steps back. That was ambitious of her. She stepped back, dribbled it out to shoot a long 2. It ends up being productive as Sakeviciute cleans up the mess. And I did remember telling you that you cannot count Lithuania out by any means. Doesn't matter how comfortable you may feel initially or how big of a gap the lead is at the start of the game. You got to stay with it. Podar, good drive. And Sakeviciute way too short for the ball to have any chance of going in. So it's only a 3-point lead for Romania. Mititelu, way too short. Nice execution. No foul though. Got to finish stronger. Good defense, but Podar with the better offense. McKnight stayed strong, contested as well as she could. Podar had to really elevate over the hands of McKnight. 4-point lead in favor of Romania. They're playing at home, and they're trying to keep their hopes alive. They need a perfect record today to even stay in the consideration of a semifinal bid. Mititelu got the ball on the rim in time, and Bianca Ioana gets the ball on the rebound. Mititelu, offensive board. Draws the foul against Miknaite. You can tell it's hot outside. The sun is beaming.
Scorul în această partidă 9-5 pentru echipa noastră, 3 minute și 44. Încă o dată înainte de reluarea acestei partide, cu aplauze și gălăgie pentru echipa noastră, aplauze pentru România! Mititelu de la libere, in and out, ratează această încercare de la linia de libere. Andreea Mititelu și România rămâne cu 9 puncte marcate.
Good 280 action right here at the pass. Miknaite finding a cutting Livia Sakeviciute. Sakeviciute knocks down the free throw. Back to a three-point game only. Romania far from being safe. Podar with a bad miss. And she's frustrated. It's understandable. 3 minutes 28. Would have helped. Would have been a strong hit. Fota saves it. Mititelu in the corner. Knocks down the 2 to give some air, to give back some comfort. Miknaite with a quick response keeps Lithuania in the hunt. Kick ball from Zabakaite. Good, great pass. Fota right on the money, and Podar staying disciplined. Miknaite, great spin move. She's never going to back down. Justina Miknaite always coming back, always fighting. And Lithuania is playing one of those games where you have a feeling that things can turn in Lithuania's favor at any moment, particularly thinking that Romania is in foul trouble at this moment. Good pick and pop action. That was an awkward situation right here. Sakeviciute kind of stopped playing. The ball got deflected out of her hands, and she was frustrated. 7th team foul against Romania. It's an offensive foul, so it's not going to give Lithuania free throws, but any new foul now is trouble looming for Romania, and that is an unfortunate turn of events. The frustration showing a lot for Livia Sakeviciute. Podar was completely beat. Nice. Sweet dime. That's a silly foul. That's a very, very silly foul. Bianca Fota, she was beat on the play. You got to stay aware of the foul trouble. I did mention it to you. You could see that come a mile away the moment that she got sealed out and couldn't get back in front of Sakeviciute. Frustration took over her mindset. She should have simply let it go. And now you have a pair of free throws. Good thing for Romania. Latvia misses the first.
One more shot.
And that is a missed opportunity to come back within only 2 points of Romania.
The
1
second
for 2.
is good for Lithuania.
Lithuania within 3. And Lithuania still has 1 free foul to give.
Iacanoag, 2 secunde în timpul de atac, abatere de picior. Posesia României. Time-out pe care îl solicită Lituania după această fază. 13-10. Doar 2 posesii fac diferența în această partidă până acum. România conduce 1 minut și jumătate până la finalul acestei întâlniri. Prima partidă a fetelor de astăzi. Prima partidă a României. Iacanoag. Acum Alina Podar în partea stângă, 6 secunde.
Good defense by Lithuania. Vititelu got depossessed of the rock, and that is a lucky turn of event for Romania to earn the offensive rebound after a bad miss from under the basket. Once again, Lithuania locking up defensively, and a minute and 10 seconds are left for Romania to try to secure its first win in this Europe Cup qualifying event here in Bucharest. Whoever loses is mathematically out of semifinal contention. Fota all the way. Good job once again, Sakeviciute.
14-11, Lituania se întoarce din nou la 3 puncte în spate.
Fota overextended the arm. We could see that. That's an offensive foul.
Ofensiv pe care Bianca Fota îl face. România ajunge la 9 greșeli de echipă și
you'll see it right here. Look at the left arm. Yep, right in the grill of Sakeviciute. Yeah, look at this. Top of the key. Lithuanian ladies need a bucket, and they need a bucket quick. Well executed. Patience pays off. If Romania scores here, that could be the game. But remember, Romania has 19 fouls. Fota, clutch. No fouls to be committed. And that's going to be the turnover that seals the deal. Podar will simply hold on to the rock. This shot has no consequence. And Romania secures its first win to keep hopes alive. Lithuania, no miracle workers without Gabriele Sulske. Both teams still have 1 game to play, but only one of them is still alive when it comes down to semifinal action. So the next game up on our schedule, we have Denmark. No, let's not make that mistake. Because they're updating the schedule for me, so let's make sure that we get the right matchup for you guys. Yes, I was right. So it's the men's bracket. It's going to be Estonia against Great Britain, coming right after those highlights.
Up next, we will switch to men's competition where we will have Estonia against Great Britain. We will start the team presentation and we'll start with Team Estonia. Wearing number 6, Oliver Metsalu. Wearing number 5, Alexander Hint. With number 1, Jan Pudet. And wearing number 2, Jürgen Rikberg. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a round of applause for the national team of Estonia. Up next, we will have the team presentation for Great Britain. Wearing number 11, Toto Vakvenle. With number 8, Jamal Anderson. Wearing number 1, Evan Walsh. And wearing number 99, Ashley Hamilton. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Great Britain. The officials for this game, Murat Chiner and Matei Page.
So now, first game of the men's bracket for day 2 here in Romania. We are live from Bucharest for the last Europe Cup qualifying event. And Estonia meeting up with Great Britain. These are the quarterfinals in the men's bracket. Obviously, I told you that the format was going to be different between the men's side and the women's side. We are in a more standard format on the men's side with 4 pools of 3 teams outside of 1, which was Pool D with Greece and Ukraine. There was a late cancellation which made the field to go with 11 teams only, but it didn't change the qualifying format for the knockout round. Great Britain meeting up with a very convincing yet surprising Estonian squad. Estonia cleaned up the plate, outlasting Austria and Bosnia and Herzegovina. The biggest surprise came with the win against Austria, the #1 seed in the competition. But Estonia, well deserved its unbeaten record. Great Britain not showing as much chemistry offensively as we've seen in the previous 2 years. It's a new squad, new looking squad, still has a lot of talent, still has a lot of athleticism. The great pass from Evan Walsh, who's been masterful creating for others as much as he's created opportunities for himself. I'm telling you guys, he's leading the event in key assists by far. No one has been giving people caviar with a spoon as much as Evan has in this tournament. Oh, beautiful fake. Are you kidding me? Great footwork. He raised his opponent. Metsalu ties things up to 1 apiece. Ashley Hamilton. That is uncharacteristic. Definitely expecting much more from Ashley, who's a very high-level player. Certified bucket getter. I find him a little discreet after day 1 of competition. His leadership outside the court is clearly felt on Team Great Britain, but we need to see his leadership on the court with his skill set as well, and his scoring ability more so. Obviously, you know me, guys. If you're familiar with me, Angelo Tsagorakis, the Tsar. I'm very demanding of players that are more than capable of providing us with great highlights and just great skills on this 3x3 basketball court. So I'm always going to be giving out love, and I'm always going to challenge high-level players. That's the way it's going to be. So Evan Walsh, top of the key. We'll give it up to Hamilton. There's a lot of holding, and that's going to be the second team foul going against Estonia. Estonia winning 18-16 against Austria was quite a shocker in the first game. Hamilton can't finish at all on this move. Oh, beautiful. Good patience on the catch. But you like the feed from Jürgen Rydberg. Rydberg had 5 points against Austria. It was a very balanced offensive output as a unit for Estonia. 6 points for Metsalu, 5 points for Hint as well. Everybody dangerous, everybody participating to the team's effort offensively. Beautiful finish. The spin, Metsalu. And Estonia up 3-2. Against Bosnia and Herzegovina. After a shy performance in game 1, Jan Pridet, who only had 2 points in the first game against Austria, went off for 9 points against Bosnia and Herzegovina. A lot of contact. Ashley Hamilton, strong to the cup, ties things up to 3 apiece. Pridet, very frustrated to blow that wide open layup. He did the hardest part, which was to drive around the defense. He beat out Fakbenle. But making the right move is not enough in 3x3. Got to put the finishing touches on whatever you start. Defense by Estonia. That's going to end up being a very tough shot. Walsh did not connect with the rim. And at the first TV timeout, we got a very low scoring game. Let's focus a little bit on Great Britain. With the first 2 games where Great Britain lost by 1 against Sweden. That was the game that decided the top seed in Pool C. Ashley Hamilton only had 1 point against Sweden. Evan Walsh with 7 and Toto Fakbenle with 6. And then Great Britain won against Czechia. 17-15 in overtime. So Great Britain could have finished first quite easily. It was a very balanced, very homogeneous group. 3 teams worthy of knockout round action, and somebody had to get knocked out, and it ended up being the very competitive Czechia squad. So Sweden, surprising, great execution, a lot of hugging. That's going to be a foul in favor of Walsh. Actually, it's an offensive foul. Okay, so Evan Walsh was the one doing the holding. Okay. Metsalu going for the fade against Fakbenle. Not an easy one. Fakbenle is lengthy. Estonia Pidet. We'll go back on offense. Offensive foul from Fakbenle as he was trying to establish position in the paint. Second game against Czechia, Great Britain saw Ashley Hamilton come back to life with 7 points. And Evan Walsh was just doing it all. We also had a great output from Anderson, who scored 4 points and was very active. It's going to be a wide open look. Metsalu can't knock it down. Pidet, the offensive board, and the shot right over Hamilton. So 5-3. Great help side defense, and that's going to be the 4th team foul against Great Britain. The game has been very physical, very intense. A lot at stake for both teams. Whoever loses is done, finito. Out of the event, out of Europe Cup contention. Good patience, but you got to finish your breakfast under the cup, sir. Big Berg. With a lot of regrets on this one. Walsh did not connect with the rim once again. Very well guarded since the beginning of this game. And this time around, taking his sweet time. Rikberg gives Estonia a 3-point lead. Offensive foul on the 2-man action. Walsh caught by Patrol. That's the 5th team foul. There you go. You see the overextension of the hips. Both teams with 5 team fouls.
6-3 the score. Pidet with the possession.
Rikberg all the way. Estonia playing a very solid brand of 3x3. That is such a tough shot. It's getting chippy out there. But you see there's a big difference between the way Great Britain is playing the game right now and the way Estonia executes offensively. Going to be a holding foul against Anderson and Great Britain. 6th team foul against the British. The British a bit out of sync offensively. It's not as fluid as we've seen them play in previous years. You have 2 3x3 vets, even though they're still young in this game, and young period. Hamilton and Walsh are the 2 players with the most experience for Team Great Britain. You do have a feeling that there is a lack of a second creator on that squad. Evan Walsh doing a great job, doing it all. But when he's off the court, the game is just not as fluid. That's a big hit right here. Jan Pidet gives Estonia a 6-point lead. One thing that you can never underestimate with Great Britain, it's the ability to lock up defensively, bring the intensity level very high. And Metsalu, what am I saying? Not Metsalu. Yes, Metsalu. was right. So Metsalu finishing the left-hand side, and things are turning ugly a little bit for Great Britain. Down 7. Next dead ball will have the second TV timeout, but the British need to figure things out. Didn't make it to the Europe Cup last year. They're trying to make sure they don't make it 2 years in a row. That's a rough miss right here for Evan Walsh. That
Try again for Estonia, but the ball is struck out.
does not convert either. Second TV timeout, and a much needed opportunity for Great Britain to turn things around. There is still enough time on the clock, but you do have a feeling that Estonia plays much more under control offensively. The Estonian, a very well coached team. As a matter of fact, I mentioned to you guys yesterday that Sim Raudla, the head coach for Team Estonia, participated in many international competitions, and we've had the pleasure of facing up each other in the past, and it was 10 years ago. Imagine that, back in the Europe Cup Qualifier in Poitiers. Not gonna mention the fact that we won, obviously, but I gotta slide it down, you know. But Sim Raudla doing a great job with Estonia. There you go. We see him right here, Mr. Clean, with the clean-shaved Walsh. A bit short.
Another shot miss for Great Britain from outside. Now Metsalu with the rebound. Lindberg.
That's going to be the 9th team foul against Great Britain. And one thing that Estonia is doing really well, they get the ball on the move. See, ball screen action to a handoff. They attack right away. They're very aggressive, and that makes life quite hard on the defense because you don't have clear closeout opportunities. The matchups, always debatable. Do we switch? Do we not switch? Who stays on the ball? Do we help? Do we not help? And that is quite productive for Estonia now, having earned double bonus with the next team foul from Great Britain. And there's a line violation, giving an opportunity to Jörgen Rikberg to knock down the second. 8-point lead, only 3 points scored in about 7 minutes. There you go, Hamilton, great bounce pass. Better be careful with the fouls. Great composure, amazing. Rikberg, the contortionist, jumped up, switched position twice in the air to find the right bounce pass. Metsalu attacks opposite. And this is just a runaway win now for Estonia. Sorry for the British fans, but it is very unlikely you'll see a recovery from Great Britain in this matchup with the way Estonia has been playing. That's the 10th team foul. And one great IQ from Jörgen Rikberg. Fake you up, jump to the moon, land on me for the double bonus. And we're gonna call that an and 2, not an and 1, an and 2. Plus possession. Told you guys, unfortunately for Great Britain, this one is cooked. There's not gonna be a scenario in the multiverse where the British can make this gap up, especially having the double bonus going against them, and Estonia is a very disciplined team. They're not going to just start launching bad shots and committing silly turnovers. You can tell they have a game plan they're following, and they're sticking to it. Good move on the baseline. With that. So there's a mistake on the time. We have 2 minutes and 14 seconds left, not 14 seconds left. I'm pretty sure they're going to correct that. The ball is saved. We're under a minute now. Long range. Oh, the dagger.
Sir. 2 more points for Estonia.
Adding insult to the injury. 18-5. A complete collapse for Great Britain. That was not expected. Let me tell you that. I had high hopes of this game being very competitive. But Estonia just
from outside, the ball hit the ring.
manhandling.
For Great Britain, they are still with 5 in this game. Estonia
Pure
will see
domination.
more points necessary to end the game before the time is gone. 1:27 to go. Ringberg, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Again, Ringberg from outside, not this
Did
time.
not connect with the
Let's
rim and
have
at the right place at the right time.
rebound.
Pudet once again missing.
And with the miss. Buck Benley with another point for Great Britain, but I think it's too late. Still Buck Benley from outside. No bucket for Great Britain. 56 seconds to go. Mensalu now
In action.
mid-range.
Good contest by Walsh.
Not this time for Estonia.
There's not going to be enough time on the clock. There's the foul. Walsh drew the foul perfectly. Had a Jan Pudet jump on the fake, but it's going to be too little too late.
Walsh at the free throws line with the first one, lucky. And the second one good also. 18-8.
18-8. It's just a formality now for Estonia.
For Ringberg.
The turnover.
Drop the ball there.
Good defensive coverage on this possession.
For Great Britain.
Hamilton
Hamilton
finds the
inside
lob
for
pass.
Van
They
Benley.
needed
Another
this
point for
much
Great
more
Britain.
earlier
9 points in this game.
to find some collaborations that would be productive enough to help Great Britain get over 10
Good
points.
violation against Great Britain. Possession for
So obviously it's not
Estonia.
just an issue offensively, because you also have to lock up defensively. You can keep this game a battle. You can keep this game a war in the trenches if you lock up defensively, but Estonia was simply a better team today, a better team in this event.
Hamilton.
Basket is gonna count.
2 more points for Great Britain, but not enough in
I
this
can
game.
see
Estonia against
Ashley
the
Hamilton
against Great
dejected
Britain.
by
18-11 is the score. Final score in
this
game.
beatdown
The first game of the day in men's
from the hands
competition.
of the Estonian. They're going to go back to work, and we'll see them again. No doubt about it. Great Britain, a very promising program in Europe. And you have to deal with the challenges of
still immense competition here. What open for FIBA 3x3
developing
Europe Cup
a
Qualifier.
very competitive
26
program
November.
in one of the most competitive areas in Worlds 3x3. Congratulations to Estonia, still alive, looking good, looking good. The next matchup shall be in the men's bracket, Pool B. Actually, I'm saying men's bracket, Pool B, but we're talking quarterfinals. So it's going to be Ukraine against Denmark. Because I say Pool B, I'm really talking about the bracket side, which is what I'm trying to say. But this game is going to be quite interesting. Ukraine finishing top of its group after handling Greece pretty easily. And Denmark making it out alive of pool action. Will have a chance of keeping hopes of Europe Cup alive with an upset win against Ukraine. Ukraine, the 4th seed in the competition. Denmark beat Romania out for 2nd seed.
As I said before, we are ready for the next game.
Spain
Ukraine
looking dominant
and we'll start the team presentation
in this
with
event.
Ukraine. Wearing number 2, Startsev Serhiy.
Made easy work of both Romania and Denmark. For Denmark, it's going to be an interesting, very interesting matchup against Ukraine. Ukraine showed a whole lot of good stuff against Greece, let me tell you that. Winning 21-14.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some
They were
noise
very
for the
aggressive.
national
The
team
Greeks
of Ukraine.
ended up in foul trouble very early. They ended up in the double bonus,
Up next,
which
we're ready for
definitely
Team Denmark.
helped
Wearing number
Ukraine's
97,
path
Kasper Hesseldal.
to the 1st seed, but it was an all-around team effort.
Wearing number 12, Philip Hertz.
Mustiatsa had 6 points, Kabatsura 7,
Wearing number 2,
Lopukov
Lars
5, and
Kristoffersen.
Lopukov missed a whole lot of free throws, let me tell you. Could have been much
And with number
more.
24, Gustav
And
Sur-Jessen.
Startsev Serhiy 3. So everybody
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the
brought
national team of Denmark.
their brick to the wall.
Coin toss and few moments until we are ready for the start. The referees for this game, Mila Chavara and Maxence Karazelo.
In this matchup, the advantage on paper is clearly Ukraine's. But Denmark is not a team to be taken for granted. They've earned their position into the knockout round action. Tough battle against Romania. Denmark outlasted Romania, winning 15-13. And it was a very balanced team effort as well. No one scoring less than 3 points. So let's see, Denmark with the first ball. Nice head fake, a lot of contact. You got to whistle that one, obviously.
The game starts with the first team foul for Ukraine and the first free throw for Denmark. Now Hesseldal with the
Sadal
responsibility.
misses the free throw that he's earned. And Ukraine
goes back for Ukraine.
on the offensive.
Opens the bench
Mustiatsa
for Ukraine. Vladislav
gets the first bucket for Ukraine. Mustiatsa cleaning the ball fast. Ukraine will have size advantage down low. Beautiful finish. Under control, very physical. Serhii gives Ukraine a 2-0 lead very early. Kristoffersen gets called for the technical foul. Probably anticipated contact, but falling sideways that way is unnatural for the shooter. So one free throw for Mustiatsa, and Ukraine could take a 3-0 lead within the first minute of this game. Free throw missed. Ukraine has had a lot of trouble on the free throw line against Greece. Could have finished the game very early. They kept missing, which gave Greece energy and hopes of coming back. The pass was the right idea, but the pass was a little too far from Lopukov. Lopukov has been dominant in the paint. Very strong.
Another one missed for Denmark again. Abatura with the possession. Start serve from outside. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Start serve from
Left
two.
open.
Not this
Too
time.
long, but the
Once again,
offensive
the
board.
there for Ukraine.
And that's the second time that we see a
Esterdal,
blown
for
layup. That's
Denmark.
unfortunate.
And now Hertz drive to the basket. Layup. Bucket
All the
for
way to the
Denmark.
cup.
And
Foul.
also fouled for Denmark. This is the second team foul.
Lopukov will take a seat and rest. This was a clean takedown. Good move, strong finish. Serhii, very aggressive early. That's solid 3x3 defense right here from Mustiatsa. Mustiatsa fighting for the possession, and the ball is earned back for Ukraine. Mustiatsa, top of the key, shooting the two. Lopukov.
Denmark still with the possession.
Denied.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Yes, and from outside.
A two-point
No
shot
bucket for Denmark.
on target,
They're
but
still
very
1-1.
short.
Mustiatsa.
Mustiatsa draws the 14th foul against Denmark.
Foul for Ukraine. For Denmark, correction.
An easy bucket. Ukraine forcing a turnover, denying the outlet pass. Ukraine simply playing stronger, more physical. Ukrainian ladies here to support the boys. That is a very strong finish. At the cup, Lau Kristoffersen. Lopukov. A little off balance, try to find the angle on the glass. Great defense. Kristoffersen dribbled the whole possession, could not find any clean opportunity to collaborate with anybody. Shoe program. Everybody on lockdown. So at the first TV timeout, we got a low-scoring game going on. But Ukraine, even though there's only a 2 points gap between both teams, Ukraine is clearly dominant so far. So Denmark will have an opportunity to turn things around, staying that close scoring-wise and also having that much time left in the game. But they need to figure it out fast because they already are dealing with potential foul trouble. That's going to be an offensive foul. Mustiața with the push-off. Good save. All the way. Very strong take. Kabatsiura gives Ukraine a 3-point lead. Lopukov and Mustiața, two players who were members of the U23 Ukraine program. Ukraine always very competitive. That's going to be a foul against Kabatsiura. Let's not forget that Ukraine's U23 program has achieved great success in the past. I remember a silver medal. Nice two-man action and the dunk. Lopukov served on the platter. Sweet bounce pass from Serhii. And Lopukov right back at Denmark. Cleans up his own mess. Ukraine up 4, as mentioned before. Denmark needs to not wait too long, as Ukraine is looking forward to increase the gap between the two teams. I was mentioning to you the silver medal at the U23 World Cup back in 2019. Was it 2019 or 18? Yeah, I think 2019. And Ukraine has also won bronze medals at the Europe Cup in 2017 and the first World Cup back in 2012, back in Athens. Lopukov, big man, trying to show us that he has the full package, that he can shoot it from deep. Good defense, Mustiața. Hertz had to fight real hard to earn the free throw. Both teams now with 5 team fouls. Hertz misses the free throw, and Denmark cannot afford to let those go. Wide open look. Oh, yes. Wide open look. Translates to a bucket from deep. Tartsev Serhii has been the most productive offensive player for Ukraine, and Kristoffersen will fight. But is that going to be enough for Denmark? Not sure. Defensively, the coverage was not synchronized. Somebody going over the screen, no one to help. Mustiața tries really hard, but is unsuccessful. Kristoffersen, beautiful up and under. You have to lob it up. There's a loss of focus from Ukraine right here. Kristoffersen, ISO work. Oh yeah, but oh no. He did the hardest part, had his opponent on his back. But as he got the ball on the glass, it was way too strong.
For Denmark.
It's a 3-point game. Lopukov. Patient. Skilled. Little turnaround hook, but this game is far from being over. Hertz knocks down the 2, makes it a 2-point game. Denmark needs to stay away from fouling, though. Ooh, shooter's touch. Serhii, the man of the hour for Ukraine. He's been doing it all. Inside, outside, around, and back. And let's see the ball drop in to recreate a 4-point cushion for Ukraine. Whoever wins sees its tournament be completely done. No more chance, no more life, no more hopes. Whoever wins gets another crack at a potential bid to the big dance. We're talking about the Europe Cup in Antwerp in just a few months. Right after the summertime, trying to go for back-to-back 2s, on target but a bit short. Great use of the basket. No foul call. And back-to-back 2s, 2 for 3 on the last attempts. That's very important. Hertz keeps hopes alive for Denmark. The turnover, he's going for another one-day heat check. Ooh, you would have had me going. Philipp Hertz. Feeling that it might be his moment. Oh, Lopukov cleaning up the mess. And that's going to be a delay of game warning. Lopukov inside the half circle. You cannot contest an outlet pass being within the half circle. That is not your territory. It's only a 3-point game. Keeps it for himself. Ooh, that's a strong move. That's a big boy move for Hisseldal. And you cannot afford to foul being in the bonus. A pair of very important free throws for Lopukov. He had trouble yesterday. Let's see if those troubles remain. Apparently they do. Oh for 2. Luckily, the long rebound ends up in his hands, and Lopukov much more comfortable finishing at the rim than he is shooting free throws. Going for the long range. It's not a good shot. Great defense by Ukraine. Stjatsa, a bit short. Kristoffersen. Good wraparound pass, and that's going to be the 16th foul against Ukraine. Only one free throw, but now both teams are in the bonus, and that could play a big role Both teams trying to win.
Sofia sends the shot from free throws
Big
for
board,
Denmark.
Lupakov.
They're still with 12 points in this game. 1:42 to go. Ukraine back in the possession.
Good defense,
Well,
Denmark.
there, possession goes back for
Steady.
Hansen for Denmark.
Can't play around and commit the foul. That was forced a bit by Hertz. Lopukov
Lopukov now
all the way.
find space for another point, but Ukraine gets nothing after this.
Hertz. Unfortunate turn of events. He's looking for a foul call that he's not gonna get, knowing that he was also the one pushing off to start. Good hands, 4 seconds left. Lopukov. Way too much protein on that shot attempt. Kristoffersen, switch of hands, MJ style. It's only a 2-point game. That was good defense, but much better offense. Mutsiasa using the glass appropriately. There's a moving screen. That's an offensive foul. And Ukraine calls for a timeout. They feel this next offensive possession could be the key to securing an important win in this first knockout round game. Jatsa, the dump off. Great pass, great finish, 4-point lead, no fouls to be given. And control in the most definite of ways for Ukraine. Good pass. That was ambitious, but almost had it to go. Ukraine moves on.
17-13 final score.
Hopes are more than ever alive for Ukraine to make it back to the Europe Cup. They will meet up with Estonia. Estonia, Ukraine will be the first semifinal, the first ticket-giving game on the men's side. Now we're going to go to Pool A, the women's bracket, after those highlights with Sweden going against Denmark.
Up next, again, in women's competition, we have Sweden against Denmark. We'll start the team presentation with Team Sweden, wearing number 22, Emma Johansson. With number 12, Tova Sabel. Wearing number 11, Anna Hagen. And with number 7, Amanda Tivenius. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the team representing Sweden. And now it's time for Team Denmark, wearing number 2, Caroline Rasmussen. With number 22, Annemie Espensen. Wearing number 15, Lena Svanholm. And with number 9, Emily Borsch. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for the national team of Denmark. Ready for the coin toss, and for this game the referees are Ioana Coșocaru and Jure Lezar.
Sweden against Denmark. Interesting matchup. We are in Pool A in the women's bracket, and Sweden and Denmark are trying to settle it. If Sweden wins this game, Sweden goes to the semifinals and keeps its hopes alive of making it to the big dance for the first time. And that would be quite special for the Swedish ladies. Sweden has never made it to the Europe Cup at the senior level. They've participated in the World Championships at the U18 level back in 2011, and they made it to the quarterfinals at the U17 Europe Cup in 2022. At the senior level, nothing. Nice shot. Denmark on the board. And you definitely got to keep an eye out for Svanholm. Lena Svanholm has been a very productive force for Denmark. Denmark with a split record, winning a very important game against Romania in overtime, 16-15. Good two-lady action. Tivenius, strong bucket off a really good pass from Sable. Good hands, almost recovered the possession. But the laser pass, finding a cutting Rasmussen with Denmark, starting off the game hot. Denmark lost against Ukraine 17-8. There was not much to talk about on this one. But against Romania, Borges Mikkelsen was the lady of the hour for Team Denmark. 4 two-point shot attempts, long range. And when I mentioned two-point shot attempts, obviously this dagger from Anna Hager ties things up to 3 apiece. Forced to have to chuck it up. Espensen will see the ball return in the hands of the Swedish ladies. Shooting from deep, off target this time around. Nice little mid-range pull-up. Lena Svanholm showing the skill. Svanholm was the only player, along with Rasmussen, that had some type of reaction against Ukraine. They were the only two that tried and actually made things happen offensively for Denmark. That's a great take. The aggressive jab to the left. Sable gets the bucket to go. And even though the pass was a bit behind, Johansson with great hands catches it. That's a right feed right here. Even though Svanholm cannot get it to go. Big bucket. Hager heating up at the best of times. I remind you, if Sweden wins this game, Sweden will punch its ticket to the semifinals, no questions asked. Denmark is the only team right now that could shake things up for the Swedish ladies. Denmark with 1 win in 2 games. Sweden, 2 wins right now in 3. That's the last game of pool action for Sweden. And if Denmark could come up with a big win, knowing that Romania has 1 game left and it's against no other than Ukraine, not a promising sight for the Romanian ladies. So with Denmark beating Sweden, we would have a 2-way tie that could potentially become a 3-way tie with an upset from Romania against Ukraine. And then we have to bring out the calculators. And at this moment, Romania looks pretty good in the case of a 3-way tie, having scored 37 points and having the best average aggregate scoring-wise after their first 3 games. But if Sweden wins, then we know Ukraine and Sweden will both be in the semifinals, and Sweden will be the 2nd seed out of Pool A, with Ukraine having won the head-to-head matchup between the 2 teams. Four-team fouls against Denmark. And we're seeing Sable trying to follow suit with Hager having knocked down 2 long-range daggers. That's a good feed inside. Tivnius carries the ball. Shooting from deep, does not connect. Svanholm cleans up the mess and misses twice. Wide open look. Denmark a bit lucky here, because Sable had all the time in the world to trigger, follow through, the whole 9 yards. Hager gets her own offensive rebound, gives it back to Tova. Sable, and Tova all the way, misses it again. Will it be 4-2? Johansson misses. And first team foul going against Sweden and Sable. On target but short. Svanholm cannot cut the lead within one. Tivnius kicks it out. On target once again, and way to seal out the opponent from being able to rotate. Haggard. That's going to be a travel on Tivnius. Haggard opened up the way. Good feed, good finish. Sweden has total control of the game, +5. Denmark scrambling for solutions. Solutions that are not going to come their way easily. Sweden disciplined and patient. Just like that, two-lady action executed to perfection. Up 6. Good screen and dive. Tivnius finishes with the left. Tova Sable with a good bounce pass feed. You keep things simple. You execute it at a high level. You get the job done. Foul call. One free throw coming up. Sweden. There's going to be a hold. 15 foul going against Denmark. Tivnius would have been wide open. Good feed. Sweden playing better. That's as simple as that. Just more efficient. Nice lob pass. Tivnius misses. Late call. Things are starting to look real good for Sweden. Great defense, Sweden. Not giving anything up. Not ceding any ground. And we are about to get in the last 3 minutes of this game, and it's been a one-way road. That's really good. Good patience, screen. Use the screen, rescreen, use the rescreen again, wrap around pass, fast break city, nope. Couldn't quite get it. Oh, now it's a clinic in 3x3. Denmark is getting picked apart on the two-lady action by Sweden. Defensively, they're just not ready to cover properly the two-lady action. Either they don't communicate well enough or they don't recover fast enough. Whatever that is, they're getting destroyed with the simplest of 3x3 actions. But one thing that I like is something that I'm always talking about and that I share in all the clinics and workshops that I do. Push the collaboration to at least a second, maybe a third. That's when the defense eventually breaks down. Because if you just do one collaboration among players, you're going with one action, nice drive to the cup and finish with Sable. You go for a handoff and just attack. Well, if the defense covers it, what do? It's not going to be easy to score. You go for one screen and dive. Well, if it's a good defense or a very physical team that can switch pretty easily, you don't have an advantage. What are you going to do? But here, first screen, second screen, open up the angle, beautiful. Just like that. You see? That's what it is. The defense eventually breaks down. And now there's a total collapse for Denmark. That's unlucky for Sven Holm. Shot was good, but the ball is cruel. First screen, second screen, get to the cup. They're just picking them apart. They don't have to do anything else. Defensively, Denmark will watch this tape and will grasp all the work that remains to be done to solve this problem. Denmark lacks aggressiveness on the ball and lacks smart repositioning on potential switches. And that sets you up to get blown by opposite of the screen if you start anticipating. 17-4. Very disciplined performance from Team Sweden. No messing around, keeping things simple. That's a good shot off a good collective work to move the ball around, create something as a unit. 19-4, very severe, but very deserved score. Sven Holm can't connect. Foul, 2 free throws coming up. Try to finish in 21 for Tivnius. Twenty to 4. They're going to make it last. There's going to be a little bit over 2 seconds left on the game clock. Is Sweden going to attempt a shot? The game is over, 20-4. Sweden convincing.
4 is
semifinalist. We all know now that Ukraine and Sweden will come out of Pool A. Who shall come out of Pool B? It shall be Latvia and Austria. Great Britain and Greece will play for bragging rights. Austria and Latvia will meet up to settle things and figure out who finishes first seed. As we know that Ukraine will be top seed in Pool A. So it's all about picking your poison. Do you want to meet up with Sweden? Do you want to meet up with Ukraine? Pretty sure they're not even thinking about that. They just want to keep their momentum going and have continuity with the way they've been playing. We're going to find out about those semifinal matchups at the end of the pool action games. Next game, Great Britain against Greece, and we'll finish with Latvia against Austria. Before having a short little break.
Up next, in women's competition, we have Great Britain against Greece, and we will start the team presentation for Great Britain. Wearing number 11, Shakila Joseph. With number 3, Shanice Beckford. Wearing number 7, Georgia Gale. And wearing number 5, Sheridan Green. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the national team of Great Britain. Up next for Team Greece, wearing number 19, Christina Anastasopoulou. With number 1, Eleni Sira. Wing number 2, Aikaterini Tsineke. And with number 5, Nefeli Stupa. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the national team of Greece. And we are ready for the coin toss and for the start in this game. But first, the referees Murat Ciner and Ioana Cojocaru are in charge for this game.
All right, last game of pool action for both Great Britain and Greece. Both teams are eliminated of Europe Cup contention. Those qualifiers came to an end the moment they lost their second game of pool play, and now it's the last pool game, and they're playing for bragging rights and the opportunity to get better, keep improving. Sira with a great mid-range jumper off the handoff action. And Greece first on the scoreboard. Got to get out of the paint. Mademoiselle Green. It's one thing that Shiradine Green needs to keep an eye out for. She does a great job asking for the ball and establishing position in the paint, but she needs to stay aware of whether her teammates are able and willing to give her the ball. Going for the long range. Green does not work out. And big shout out to Ilan Kowalski watching the games live as we speak. The 3x3 family runs deep, and Nefeli Stupa runs even deeper. Swish, burning up the net. And that clearly has an impact on the British morale. Playing good defense and still getting scored on. Well contested by Anastasopoulou. Stupa goes right back to Sira. She gets another open look, and the ball rims out. Mismatch City down low. And that's a good mid-range pull-up right here. Good fundamentals. Shakila Joseph puts Great Britain on the board. That's the Supulu with a good feed. Good defensive recovery by Joseph. That's the Supulu. Outmatched physically by Green down low.
Marea Britanie și Grecia în competiția feminină. După aproape 2 minute trecute din această partidă, Grecia este
And that's a good foul. Good smart foul. Teams have 6 fouls to give before handing out free throws. Good drive and kick for a wide open 2. The unselfishness paying off. Georgia Gale feeding Shanice Beckford Norton. And Shanice ties things up to 3 apiece. Moving screen. Anastasopoulou.
Foul against Team Greece. 7:46 to go in this game. Great Britain against Greece in women's competition. Second team foul for Greece. Now possession goes back for Great Britain. Backcourt. On the left side is Gale. Inside for Great Britain. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Beckford
Trying to go for back-to-back. Surely does. Shanice Beckford Norton.
Good to go and 2 more points. 5-3 now.
Good baseline move. Nefeli Stupa took her to the post office. Eleni Sira with a great steal. And Anastasopoulou way too short. Kind of rushed it. Mismatch action in the paint. But the pass too nonchalant. And the wraparound pass just not wrapped around enough. Anastasopoulou had a good position inside. But Stupa couldn't provide her with the opportunity to play the advantage in the paint. Tsineke fronting. Tsineke cannot prevent Green from catching and scoring. So 6-4, Great Britain with the lead.
Shot clock and position for Greece.
Greece at the top with Tsineke. Great Britain leading by 2.
Sineke on the right side, drive to the basket.
Sineke took it all the way.
Smith and Gale gets the rebound for
Had the
Great Britain.
advantage. Oh, nice feed.
Now Green with the answer again.
Georgia
for Great
Gale.
Britain, 1 more point.
Right
Now
on the
we have
money.
7.
Nefeli Stupa in the corner.
Yes, 2 more points for
Knocks down the
Greece.
2. Keeps the game close. And Sira with the ball pressure.
3 seconds
And
violation
once
against
again,
Great Britain.
Green falling
5
asleep in the
7-6
paint.
score, 6:21 to go.
Losing sight of that 3-second clock violation. Good. Oh, man. Unfortunate. Anastasopoulos. Off target. Good feed inside. Green. Well contested. Sira. She's a shooter. She gets no love, but she's scrappy. She fights. And Greece has opportunities to not only take the lead, but to build a gap, build an advantage. But wide open looks being missed one after the other. Stupa going for the heat check. She's knocked down 2 long-range daggers. It's gonna be short. Anastasopoulos. She can post up. She misses again. Green making it look easy. She's just too strong. Sira, corner deuce. Tying things up to 8 apiece. Greece needs to shoot the lights out. It is the way this team is built. It's going to be speed and outside shooting against length and strength in the paint. Obviously, Great Britain also has the ability to knock down the 2. Shanice Beckford-Norton showed you that. But Greece clearly has more tools, more weapons. Sira and Stupa, identified shooters, recognized shooters in this game of 3x3. The ball did not touch the rim. And Greece with the opportunity to take the lead for the first time since the 1-0. And Sira's mid-range jumper on the right side baseline. Sira deep. Sira knocks it down. Greece finding the outside shooting efficiency it desperately needed earlier in this tournament. And you know what they say, better late than never. Something that Greece can build on for the future. Fighting, scrambling, Stupa, fast break 2, a little rush, the ball, ooh, oh, that's unfortunate. She was by herself and she's forced now to commit the 15th foul against Greece. She cannot believe what she missed, and neither can we. It's one of those blunders, rare blunders where you just completely crack. Good execution right here. Stupa completely beat on that play. Sineke will kick it out. Anastasopoulos will make a decision with 5 seconds left. Anastasopoulos cannot get it. Sineke fighting really hard. Second TV timeout. Greece is up 10-9. Great Britain finished 10th at the 2021 Europe Cup. They did not make it to last year's edition. Hello. Sierra kicks it out to Stupa. Bit off target. The foul shall be, I believe, against Eleni Sierra and Greece. 16th foul against the Greek ladies. Foul trouble now looming. The pass is too long. The ball is saved. Sierra catches and cashes out. Eleni Sierra, third two-point shot of the game. Greece is up 3. Nefeli Stupa had the right idea, but lacked the finishing touch. Sierra goes Euro-stepping on everybody in Bucharest. The Euro-step does not provide her with a clean look at a basket.
Greece in front by 3,
But Greece
with less than 3 minutes
playing a solid game. Great Britain has executed its game plan pretty well, feeding the ball inside to a dominating force with Sheridan Green. And Sheridan Green heard me in the Bluetooth, added to her personal account. It's only a 2-point game, and Greece has the foul trouble looming. That's going to be an offensive foul. Great defense. Shanice Beckford-Norton moving her feet, doing a great job, cutting the lane once, then twice, forcing Tineke to use the bump with excess. Oh, what a huge hit. I told you, Great Britain still has Shanice Beckford-Norton for the outside shooting threat. That's her second of the game. She's more than capable of knocking it down. She's proved that to you. Eleni Sierra, a wide open look. That was a clean one. Stupa finds the angle on the glass. And one.
For Greece, 13-12 is the
Got a nice
score,
game on our
and
hands.
one extra shot from free throws line.
Things have picked up a little bit.
After this game, we are ready again in women's
And one.
competition. We have Latvia against Austria.
It's only the 13th foul against Great Britain. Nefeli Stupa swishes this one and gives Greece a 2-point lead again.
Joseph inside for Green. Reverse
Green
layup.
completely blows this layup.
By Stupa.
Anastasopoulou
Stupa drops the ball and
lacks
position
discipline
for,
on that
Great
pass.
Britain right now. Joseph
And what a
inside
great
again for
feed.
Green. Good
Great
connection.
three-lady
And the
action
basket for
right
Green.
here.
One more point.
Good IQ play from Joseph, feeding the inside.
From
Sierra
outside, not this time.
completely misses to the left. Oh, mismatch city down low. The good kick out pass. Gale almost had it to go. What about that? Tineke blocking Sheridan Green. Anastasopoulou draws the 14th foul and earns herself a trip to the free throw line for a single shot. Anastasopoulou knocks it down. Back to a 2-point lead.
Again, Gale. Back for Joseph. Over to Gale again.
That's a 12-second shot clock violation. A minute and 15 seconds left. The Greek boys are already out of the tournament. What am I saying? They are in knockout round games. Silly me. The boys are meeting up with Spain. And their game is going to be at 5:05 local time. The only reason I mentioned that they were out of the tournament is because they lost against Ukraine, but both teams were automatically qualified. So yeah, had a little mental lapse. So 1 minute and 14 seconds left now. Tsineke gives it up to Stupa. Stupa launches from deep using the glass. Why not? In times of need, Mr. Backboard, always answer your prayers. If you're close enough, he'll help you out. Bang. See, shot is aligned.
One shot for Sierra and for Greece.
Get the bucket.
Figures in front, +4.
Sierra misses the technical foul shot.
17-13.
Greece leading by 4 with a minute and 2 seconds left.
1 minute at the end. Joseph with the position for Great Britain. Yale.
Mismatch action.
Yale. Joseph
Good feed in the post, but you cannot afford to miss this.
Gets the rebound for Greece. Anastasopoulos.
Offensive foul. Anastasopoulos
Offensive foul before.
forcing her way to the basket, and Beckford Norton did a good job putting her body on the line.
Again, Joseph
Shooting the
outside,
deuce.
Money for Great
Sheila
Britain.
Joseph
They are back behind at -2,
makes it a 2-point
36 to
game.
go.
Remember,
Anastasopoulos.
foul trouble
4
against
seconds
Greece
on the
could
shot
send
clock.
Great
Anastasopoulos
Britain to the
with
free throw line.
Sierra.
And there is more than enough time left on the clock.
Misses the shot, 26.9
27
to go.
seconds
Greece
left.
is still
That
in
means
front, up by 2.
a bit over 2 possessions. Great Britain calls for a timeout. What do? Do you go for the quick one, get a stop, and have an opportunity to either send the game to overtime or steal the game away with a long deuce? Do you go for the tie game right away? But if you miss, then you're forced to foul to stop the clock. It's all about your personal philosophy, what you prefer, what do you believe in. It's going to be interesting to see what the British ladies elect to do.
Just 2-point difference between Greece and Great Britain.
With the time being, probably would go with the mismatch in the paint.
2 more points needs for Great Britain for overtime.
Apparently they're going for the deuce. They want to go for the deuce.
Outside, the ball hit the ring, there's no basket there.
Green saves it.
Again,
Extra pass.
Joseph,
Another
go
open
to.
look.
Not this time for Great Britain.
And this
Silva
will
gets
be
the
costly.
rebound. And gets the foul.
2 straight misses. You go for the deuces. Now you are dependent of whether you make them or not. If you go for the inside job, give the ball to Green. Greece cannot afford to foul. There is more than enough time for you to get a stop. And now not have the pressure of knocking down the 2. That's a steal. And there's an open 2. Are you kidding me? Absolutely insane. Stupid for the game winner. No. She gets blocked and we're going to overtime.
We have overtime. What a
This
game,
is incredible.
Joseph from outside gets the level in this game. Great Britain and Greece. We have
Tsineke
overtime. 17-17.
Got the ball stolen from her. I have to see the check ball situation again, because we're only seeing the end of it. We just see the moment that Beckford Norton recovers the possession and steals the ball from Tsineke, but did she check it properly? Did she hand the ball to Tsineke legally. The referee was right there to watch it. Must have been right. And how about this turn of event? There you go. Oh. Seeing the replay. Oh, that is a missed call right here. Should have been a delay of game. The ball was not properly checked in.
Gets the victory now. Greece with the possession. Anastasopoulos. From two.
Stupa
Not this time for
goes
Greece.
for the
Johnson.
deuce. Contested. It's not going to work out. The pass is way too long. Green. We're gonna have to try to find a solution, and it's back-to-back missed lob passes. It's like they're playing volleyball right now.
Greece by Sira. Inside for Anastasopoulos.
Tsineke with a clean
Tsineke
look.
for the victory. Not this time. We have to
Bit
win.
off target. And Sira trying her hardest to save the ball. Good box out from Georgia Gale.
Great return now by Green. Again, Gale, 9 seconds.
No
on
one
the
has
shot
scored
clock.
yet.
Inside for Green, under the
Good
bucket.
lob. Good feed this
Point
time around.
for
Stupa for the game winner. Stupa wins it for Greece using the glass.
Outside, 2 points.
19 to 18.
And Greece gets the victory against Great Britain.
Might only be just.
18 after overtime.
Might only be
Women's
just.
Competition, and we are ready
Great
for
battle.
The next one. Still in
Both
women's
teams
competition.
deserving.
This time
Both
it's
teams
Latvia against Austria.
trying their hardest to walk away. Winners go back home with something positive to take from this qualifying event here in Bucharest. As we see the replay, Nefeli Stupa. Quick feet, quick trigger, hold that follow through, knock it down with the glass. All right, now, we got the final score. The next game between Latvia and Austria. Still in the women's bracket. Who shall be first seed? Who shall be second seed? We're going to find out right away.
Up next again in women's competition, this time Latvia against Austria, and we are ready for the team presentation. We'll start the introduction of the players with team Latvia, wearing number 14, Marta Leimane. Wearing number 45, Dinia Strautmane. With number 6, Kitia Vikmane. And with number 13, Marta Mischenko. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the national team of Latvia. And now the team presentation for Austria, wearing number 13, Simone Sil. With number 10, Alexia Alesh. Wearing number 8, Anya Fuchs-Robetin. And with number 42, Sigrid Koisa. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the national team of Austria. Few moments until coin toss and until we start the game. The referees for this game, Murat Ciner and Ioana Kojocaro.
All right, Latvia and Austria, the battle for the first seed. Who shall avoid Ukraine in the semifinal? Not saying that it's going to be much easier against Sweden. Please believe it won't be. But it's about also bragging rights and keeping up with good momentum. Both teams now have a perfect 2-0 record. They're playing their last game of pool action. Greece finished third of the group. Great Britain winless, 0-3. Now Austria and Latvia, which both cleaned up the plate on day one and earlier today, are now trying to keep up with the good work, finish with a 3-0 record, heading into the semifinal and the qualifying game to the Europe Cup. Nice little mid-range. So 2-zip. Latvia with a good start. Fuchs-Robetin jumped the gun a little bit, but Koizar got held back. Drive, good up and under, the footwork, and the ball won't drop in. was still very skillful for Marta Leimane. Three zip, Latvia taking control of the game early. The action. Koizar, good change of pace, but Strautmane did a good job contesting clean. Strautmane catching, couldn't cash out though, and she commits the foul right after. Strautmane with the rebound. Mischenko cannot finish. She had the size advantage, but it's not going to be an easy matchup against Alish. Alish will fight really hard for position and will make life hard on Mischenko on the finishing. Yes, the good drive on the catch. Simone Seal. Sweet finish. There's going to be an offensive foul. Vichmane. First TV timeout. Latvia started off the game pretty solid, building a 3-point lead early. But the problem is that Latvia already has committed 4 team fouls, and that could play a factor in Austria's potential comeback in this game. Lady action, good change of pace, the sweet little lob pass, good recovery with the help side. Took a lot of courage, but Mischenko cleans up the mess, stays with it, and Latvia keeps total control of the matchup so far. Speed kills Koizar. Beautiful use of the angle, going the other side to prevent Mischenko from recovering. Mischenko needs to shoot fast. Would have been a 3-second call. If not, Koizar with Alish popping out, and Mischenko secures the defensive board. Strautmane from deep, completely off target. Mane goes for the little floater. Beautiful. She's a triple threat. She can pass, she can shoot, she can drive. The 15 foul going against Latvia. Austria needs to keep up with the game plan. Fushrobetin, top of the key. So far, Austria has not found a way to utilize mismatches, and just when it's mentioned, you had a clean opportunity. Fushrobetin had Birmane down low. And in the end, the missed layup. Got to finish your breakfast in the paint. You cannot afford against such a good team to give away freebies like that. Stratmane. Mischenko gives it back, and great attack of the closeout. Romania giving the ball up. Monsil earns herself a trip to the free throw line. $16 foul against Latvia. Remember what I told you about the impact of the bonus. Austria still has one foul to give for free. Simon Sil with a bad miss, but the recovery on the offensive board. Fushrobetin gives it up to Koizar. Two-lady action, but good recovery. Clean defense by Birmane. Actually, Learmane. Excuse me, Marta Learmane. Stratmane, big hit. You have to keep Stratmane away from open looks from deep. The offensive board, Fushrobetin. Mane draws the 16th foul against Austria.
Al doilea timeout al acestei partide, la scorul de 9-4 pentru Letonia în partida împotriva Austriei. Încă o dată vă reamintesc că după finalul acestei partide și după un scurt moment de entertainment, România va intra din nou în competiție, de data aceasta împotriva Ucrainei, în competiția feminină. Astăzi, fetele noastre au înregistrat o victorie.
Mischenko doing a great job identifying the size advantage down low. And Alish doing her best on this one, but Mischenko was too determined to score. Great box out. Everybody doing her part. Koizar all the way, switching hands. Beautiful finish off balance. Mischenko. Great footwork. Faking to return to the other side. Stays on her strong hand. 6-point lead, and Latvia dominating. Very disciplined performance from Team Latvia. They're not doing anything they don't know how to do. They move the ball around. Strautmane will hunt for open looks. Virmane will have an all-around creation. Oh, that was sweet. That was super sweet. Oh, she's a faker. Acted like she was going to return to a two-lady collaboration with Mischenko. And went right to the backdoor cut. You got to show that in 3x3 academies, let me tell you.
Today in the first game, Romania gets the victory against Lithuania, and now the girls are looking for another victory. This time the opponents are Ukraine. Still at free throws with the first one good, 12-6.
Monsil knocks down the free throw to cut the lead to 5. It's far from over. Virmane. Oh, yes. Virmane. Very patient. Mischenko making sure she creates the right angle for a bounce pass. Obviously, Austria is not going to go down easy.
3 seconds on the shot.
Mischenko showing us she has some range as well, but not the same type of efficiency, obviously. Size advantage this time around for Simon Sil. 4-point game, over 2 minutes. Both teams in foul trouble. It can go either way. Mischenko gets blocked by Simon Sil. And Mischenko not impressed. Sticks with it. Knocks down the little banker.
14-9 between Latvia and Austria, and another team fault for Latvia, which means 2 shots from free throws line for Austria. Hughes with the first one good. And the second one is good also. 14-11. Austria is
told you free throws can be a difference maker. Virmane launches one a little bit too quick. And that's a bad pass. Koizar did not capitalize on the mismatch opportunity with Simon Sil being guarded by Virmane. And that is not a good foul at all. Not a good foul at all. Over-pressuring. Simon Sil has no shot at staying in front of Virmane. She's too skilled and she's too fast. Same deal with Leimane. Anytime she's matched up on the perimeter with one of those two, it's not going to work out in her favor. And Leimane on this one took advantage with the little cross. 0 for 2, but you got to box out Mischenko. Don't box her out. Then she tips the ball. And Strautmane, opportunistic. Ooh, deadly jab. Koizar misses. She steals it away from Mischenko, but that's not going to be an easy one. Trying to go for the up and under. Mischenko was not buying any of it. 4-point game. Strautmane. And in the end, Latvia now pulling away again from the logo. No, Latvia in total control. Leimane stops her dribble.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Now again Mischenko inside. Layup missed for Latvia. 40 seconds to go.
Puskobetin, they need that, but they don't get it. And Alish fights real hard. Koizar, no. Puskobetin, yes. Now Latvia simply needs to dribble it out, burn as much time as possible. Both teams in foul trouble, I remind you. Leimane.
There's a travel violation against
travels.
Latvia.
Still burnt. Enough clock
And
to make a comeback almost impossible.
Team Austria.
It's a nice drive, but now time is of the essence. And time clearly plays in favor of Latvia. Straumane shoots it knowing that there's a 3-point gap. Not enough time to clear it. Latvia finishes top of the group. Austria still has its hopes alive. Austria will have to defeat the #1 seed Ukraine to go to the Europe Cup. Is it possible? Most definitely. Is it probable? We'll find out.
Un ansamblu care s-a remarcat prin numeroase participări și rezultate obținute la festivaluri și concursuri folclorice din țară. Pregătirea artistică și coreografia este semnată de Alina Dumbravă, cea care îi îndrumă cu pasiune și dedicare. Alături de noi astăzi, aplauze și gălăgie pentru ansamblul Drag de Măgurele!